Okay. And today we're going to look at some fractions, because I know how much you love fractions. And we're going to factorize with those fractions. So let's just jump right in. Okay. So we have a question that is up on the board. Now, before we actually go into it, I would love to know what you guys think we should do. So anyone who thinks that they can tell me what they think we should do in this question, give me your answer in the chat or put your hand up and let me know. But I would like to know what you think we should do in this question. Okay. Amalinda, what do you think we should do?
Ma'am, I think we should first look at the common numbers and then they cancel out, and then our answer, I think, is going to be x plus 9.
Okay, so you're saying that 3 and that 3 should cancel, right? Oh, sorry, you muted again. Yes. Okay, so that 3 and that 3 would cancel, so we're left with x plus 9. Okay, that's our first answer. If someone has a different suggestion, I'm all ears. Let's see. Nasipo, what do you think we should do?
Ma'am, I think we should take out and on the top. I think we should take out common factor, which is 3.
Okay. So at the top, I would take out 3, and then what would I be left with in brackets?
X plus 3.
Okay, and then that's all over 3, and then what am I going to do as my final answer?
Ma'am, I think you're gonna like cancel the whole. Ma'am, I don't know.
Do you think I would leave it at that point there?
No.
Okay, tell me what you think. Remember, there's no wrong answers. Well, I mean, there are wrong answers, but I'm happy to get all answers at the moment. Just tell me what your gut's telling you to do here.
So, I think maybe what do you do? Oh, ma'am, the answer is gonna be x plus 3 because the 3 cancels.
So you're sorry. So you're saying that this 3 and this 3 are going to cancel, so I'm going to be left with x plus 3.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you for your suggestion. If you have a different suggestion, so if you do not have one of these 2 blue options that are on the board at the moment, then we're still open for options. So if you're not saying one of these 2 options, then keep your hand up. If your hand is up with these 2 options, then take your hand down. Okay. Camila, what are you suggesting to me?
Ma'am, normally how we would do it at school, we would separate the terms in the numerators.
Okay.
And then we'd say 3x divided by 3, and then 9 divided by 3.
Okay. So what would our answer be?
So the 3's cancel out. The 3x divided by 3's cancel out. So it's left as x.
Good.
And then so 9 divided by 3 is 3. So we say x plus 3.
Okay, great. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, my offer is still up. If you have a different answer to the 3 that are on the board, let me know. I think that we've covered most of the ones that people do, though. Jasmine, I'm all ears. Tell me what you think. Where did you go, Jasmine? Hello? There you are.
I got Camilla's answer.
Okay, you got, so you did the same as this one over here?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Cool, thanks, Jasmine. Nkateko, do you have a different answer for me?
Ma'am, what I was taught is we should, this week we started with simplifying fractions.
Okay.
So we are supposed to solve x. We should make it stand alone. That's what we were taught.
So how would we make it stand alone here?
We should get the LCM, the lowest common multiple, for the denominator. And
So
the,
I love
because-
what you're saying. The only problem is that what you're explaining to me is fractions that are equations.
Oh. Oh.
So basically, if I had this question like this, but I then said that it was equal to something, then I would do exactly what you're saying. I would find a common denominator and isolate x and make sure x is alone. So you're saying the exact right thing for an equation, just not for an expression.
Okay.
Okay.
Well done, Kateko. I love that enthusiastic. Thank you.
Okay, so let's talk about these options, guys. There are actually two that are on the board that are correct. And then there's one on the board that is a very, very, very common mistake. And I was hoping someone would make because it's something that lots and lots of people do. Okay, so the two correct answers are these two over here. So this is basically when we divide by distribution. So it's like the opposite of when we multiply with distribution, we can divide by distribution. And then this one is taking out a highest common factor. Okay. Now, the reason we can't do this first option is because there is a fundamental rule of maths that we are not allowed, okay, to cancel across terms. It's like a huge, huge maths rule. I used to have a big poster up in my classroom with very similar example, and it said, every time you cancel across terms, a kitten dies. That is how serious it is to cancel across terms. We are not allowed to cancel across terms. What do I mean by that? At the top over here, we've got two terms. We're not allowed to cancel when we've got more than one term situation. Now, the reason the second option works so nicely is because we are making this one term by factorizing. And the reason that this third way works is because we are also, that's one term that we're crossing over. That's one term that we're dividing over. Okay, we're not allowed to cancel across terms. And so we use this idea of factorizing to make more than one term so that it allows us to cancel. Okay, so we're going to be focusing on this second option today because we're going to be dealing with things that have difference of two squares, and you'll start seeing that it's a helpful way of helping you simplify fractions. Okay, thank you guys. I loved your suggestions. I loved your answers, and I'm very happy that you gave me exactly what I was looking for. You did awesome. Okay, so let's have a look at the second example over here. At the top, I have got two terms, which means I'm not allowed to cancel across my terms. Okay, I can write this as the one number over 2ab squared and my other number over 2ab squared. I can absolutely do that, but we won't be able to do that all the time. And so because we won't be able to do that all the time, I would like you to get comfortable with the factorizing method. So I'd like you all to just focus on the numerator for a moment and just take out the highest common factor for me and write in the comments what your answer would be if you took out the highest common factor. That's all I want you to do for the moment.
Let's go, guys. You guys
Sorry.
are fine. You can do this. Let's go. Let's see.
Sorry guys, I dropped my pen and I was like trying to like dig under my couch to find it. That was what was happening on the side. I'm back. Okay, so all I want you to do for the moment is find the highest common factor of that numerator, take it out and tell me what you are going to get. Just write that in the comments for me. Okay, I like that you're seeing 2, but remember we can take out something more. Okay, so we can take out 2. Look at your variables now. So we have to look at which variables are common. So we've got a's here and we've got an a there, which means it is common. And we always take the smallest one. So the smallest one here would be a. Then we look at our b's. Our b's are also common. What's smaller from b cubed and b to the 5 is b cubed. So we always take the smallest of the ones that we have left. Okay. Then we just need to write what we would have left in our bracket. So I'm going to have a just A. That's all I'm going to have on my first one. And then minus 2b to the power of 2. That's what my numerator is going to look like. Why won't it be AB squared? Okay, so the reason it won't be AB squared is because I can take out more than just a B squared. I can take out B cubed. My highest common factor, that there's 3 B's there and there's 5 B's there. So I want to take out 3 of them. Yolanda, I think this learner here is just, they're not connected to audio yet. Do you mind helping with our hand
I
up?
will send direct message. Yes.
Thank you. Okay, and that's going to be over 2AB squared. Okay, now when we're looking at this, so all we did in this first step is we took out our highest common factor. That's all we did. Okay, and now this up here is one term, and because it's one term, I'm allowed to cancel. Therefore, I can cancel. Okay, so now if I'm canceling, I can say, well, my 2 can cancel with my 2. This A can cancel with this A. This B squared can cancel up here, but I would be left with a B. So my final answer is going to be B, open bracket, A minus 2B squared. And that's where we would leave our answer. We wouldn't need to go further than that. We could just leave it exactly like that. Kitsumetse, how can I help? You just need to click the option to unmute on your side. There we go. Hi. Oh, now I've lost you. Hello?
Sorry.
That's okay. How can I help?
Some of us are so can you please explain?
So that you're coming in and out of the audio. I can't hear your question properly. Do you mind putting it in the chat for me so that I can see what you're asking?
Where?
Just in the chat box. So where everyone's writing, just write in your question in the chat so that I can see properly what you're asking, because I just can't hear you properly. Okay, guys, those of you who are stressing, don't panic. Remember, it's just the beginning of the lesson. We've got lots of time to start going through this. All we're doing at the moment is we're factorizing our numerator, and then we are simplifying. We're canceling what we can cancel. That's all that's happening at the moment. Okay. Kopotso, can I help? Okay. Don't panic. Remember, if you're late, you can always rewatch these videos again, and we'll be doing lots and lots of examples throughout today's lesson. You will get more than enough time to start seeing how they all fit together. So don't panic. Don't get yourselves in any kind of panic. All right, let's have a look at this question over here. So at the moment, we've got 3 terms that are chilling up at the top. Okay, so the topic that we're currently doing is factorization. This is the second last lesson of factorization, so we've been doing it for a while, and we're looking at factorization with fractions today for the first time. Okay, so we're kind of combining all of our factorization knowledge together. So now if I'm looking at this question over here, the reason we start factorizing and don't split up our questions, our fractions, is because this is the type of thing where it gets messy. See, if I was to split this up, if I had 3x squared y over 3xy squared plus 6xy squared over 3xy squared and then minus 9x over 3xy squared, I'm going to start getting some messy answers because not everything is going to divide into everything. And so we start getting some ugly answers. And so because of that, as our way around that, we look to factorize. So at the top at the moment, I've got 3 terms, which means I'm not allowed to cancel across those terms. I can't just say that 3 and that 3 is going to cancel because then I'm canceling across terms, which we're not allowed to do. So we want to make these 3 terms one term. And the way that we make many terms one term is through factorization. Okay, so if we're having a look at this and we're trying to factorize, remember with our factorization, the first thing we always look for is there a highest common factor? If there's 2 terms, we say, can we do difference of 2 squares? If there's 3 terms, we say, can we do a trinomial? Okay, so if we're having a look at this, how could I deal with that? What would be my highest common factor? First, start with your numbers. So start looking at 3, 6, and 9. What is our common factor of those numbers of 3, 6, and 9? Beautiful, guys. 3. Excellent. Great. Good start. Okay. Now we're just going to look at our letters. So over here, I've got x squared, then I've got x, and I've got x. So what would be my smallest of those? If I've got x squared, x, and x. Good. Just an x. Okay. Now let's look at our y's. We've got a y over here, we've got y squared over there, but we don't have a y over here, which means y is not a common factor, so we can't take it out. Okay. Now we just fill in what's going to be inside our brackets. Now remember, when I multiply this with that, I need to get this term. So my 3 is already there. I'm going to need another x, and I'm going to need a y. Now when I multiply this term, I need to get 6xy squared. So I'm going to need a 2. My x is there, but I'm going to need a y squared. When I do this last one, I'm going to need to get -9. So I'm going to have -3, and my x is there, and I'm sorted. So that's what's going to be inside my brackets. And remember, if you're wanting to, you also still can write those terms divided by the highest common factor if you're wanting to help. So what I'm meaning by that is just that then we'll end up getting a fraction over a fraction, which sometimes confuses people. But let me just write it out for those of you who are still struggling a bit with highest common factors. And then that's all over 3xy squared. Okay. So what we have left in this bracket over here, the 3 and the 3 cancel, and I'm left with xy. Here, 6 divided by 3 is 2. The x's cancel, and I'm left with y squared. 9 divided by 3 is 3, and my x's cancel. Okay, so all I did over there was I took out a highest common factor. And that's all over 3xy squared. So all we're doing, we haven't done anything scary or anything fancy. All we did was we took out a highest common factor in our numerator. Okay. Now, because this is all one term, I'm allowed to cancel. So my 3 and my 3 can cancel. My x and my x can cancel. And then I'm left with that y squared at the bottom. And so my final answer is just xy, and you can keep this in brackets if you want to, plus 2y squared minus 3 all over y squared. That would be our final answer. Good. I'm glad it makes sense. Those of you who are lost, don't panic. Sometimes it takes a few more examples, and then it starts sinking in. The most important thing that's happening here is we're trying to take many terms and make it one term. So all we were doing with that numerator was we were taking out our highest common factor to make it one term, and then we simplify. Precious, how can I help?
Afternoon, ma'am. I
Hi.
wanted to ask the y squared that's remained. Don't you also divide it with the y squared at the top, or you just the ones that are in brackets?
Yeah, I'm not allowed to cancel these guys, because then I would be canceling across terms again. So once we've simplified, we can't cancel anything more. Whatever you have inside that bracket, unless that entire bracket is down at the bottom, we can't simplify it. Think of this as a married couple. Everything inside that bracket needs to stay together. I can't split them up. They are fully together. And so I can only cancel it with something which is identical to the same thing.
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
Okay, but we'll get an example where you'll see that now. Okay. All right, let's try another one. Oh, it's our brain break. I put it too early today. Okay, so for our brain break, I did something a little bit different today. I haven't made it a maths question. I've just made it a riddle. So you've just got to tell me what the answer is to the riddle. Let's see. I thought maybe it would be nice to do something a little bit different. So get your brains ready. And for those of you who already know the answer, then you'll just be very, very lucky. But I'm just looking for a one-word answer over here. Okay.
Woo, let's go.
You go at red, but stop at green. What am I? Go at red, but stop at green. What am I? No, not a traffic light, not a robot, not a car, not a car.
Guys, a robot, you go when it's green.
Yeah, you go at green. You stop at red. If I'm very worried about some of your parents driving with these answers. Orange,
Really
no.
worried
Human,
also.
no. Yellow, switch, no, no. Ah, a watermelon. Yes, yay.
Well
It's a
done,
watermelon.
Kilebogile. Oh, well done. That was a tricky one.
Okay, so watermelon, if you think about it, you eat all the red parts and then you stop when you get to the green shell. So you go at red, but you stop at green, if that makes sense. Just something a little bit different. Yes, no, don't worry. I'm going to give you lots of questions to do by yourself just now. Don't panic. It was random. Exactly. Just something different to get your brain out of panic mode. You Googled the answer. No.
Oh, no.
Never stop at the white part. The white part on the watermelon is my favorite part. I always eat all of the white part. I only just don't eat the skin. But maybe I'm weird. I don't know. Okay. All right, guys, give this one a try. My hint to you is that we're needing to factorize that guy. Remember, this is going to be bound. It's like one thing, so we're going to make it one term basically, and see if you can figure this one out. Yusuf, I think your hand was up to answer for the riddle. If it's not, yeah, okay. Okay, so try and factorize the top and then tell me once you think you've got an answer, tell me what you think your answer is going to be. Pop it in the chat for me so that I can see. Fatu, how can I help?
Ma'am, I want to answer.
Okay, can you tell me what to do? Can you explain it to me?
Okay, so ma'am, we're first going to do dots for the numerator.
Can you tell me what the dot stands for? What does the D and the T and the S stand for?
Difference of two squares.
Good. So the difference of two, and they need to be square numbers. Excellent. Okay, cool. So tell me what I'm going to do.
Ma'am, you're going to put two brackets.
Good.
X minus 2 and x plus 2.
Good. And that's all over.
X minus 2.
Good. What do I do now?
The x minus 2 is going to cancel the denominator at the bottom.
Good. So what am I left with?
X plus 2.
Yes. Beautiful. Well done. Excellent. Perfect. Nice job. Okay. So what we saw over here, guys, is that this was kind of what we were answering in the last question. If we have a whole bracket, which is exactly the same as what we have at the denominator, then we're allowed to cancel them because they are the same as each other. And then we just write what we're left. And if you want to write your final answer with brackets around it, that's also completely fine. You can definitely write it like that. The most important thing is we wanted to factorize our numerator. Sometimes we have to factorize both our numerator and our denominator. And then once it's all one term, then we cancel. Okay, so all we did over here, I'll just go over it one more time, and then we're going to move on to the next one, is we're going to see we have x squared minus 4 at the top. I can do difference of two squares. So I'm going to have two brackets. I'm going to have a plus and a minus. Square root of x squared is x. That's going to go at the beginning of both of my brackets. Square root of 4 is 2. It's going to go at the end of both of my brackets. and that's all over my denominator of x minus 2. Okay, this bracket is exactly the same as this bracket, which means I'm allowed to cancel them, and I'm allowed to cancel them because this is all one term. Okay, and then I just write what I'm left with. I'm just left with x plus 2. So the problem with these questions are nasty. Just to answer one of the questions that's come in through the chat, is that the way that these will be asked is they will say simplify. It will say simplify. It won't say factorize. And so when we have a fraction question like this, we have to know that we have to factorize. It's okay if it's feeling a little bit confusing. I promise it will come. It's our first time doing this. We're going to still do more of these questions on Tuesday, so don't panic. It's the very first time we're looking at these types of questions. It's very normal to feel a bit stressed. Yeah, exactly. Yulende, they are doing very well. Okay, let's have a look at this one. So again, I'm wanting you to factorize just that numerator for me. So when we factorize, think about your different options. Think about your HCF. Think about your difference of two squares. Think about your trinomial. Think about which one to do.
Let's do this, guys. Let's do it. Woo. So, guys, remember to take screenshots also. I haven't heard anyone saying, oh, screenshot, ma'am.
No, I think that's our grade 10s. Our grade 10s are like screenshot manias.
Ma'am, can I answer?
Tiana, you can. Tell me what to do.
Okay, so I say you do the highest common factor.
Good. And what's my highest common factor?
Which is 5x.
Beautiful. What will I be left with in my brackets?
Then in the brackets will be 1.
Yay, you didn't fall for my trap. Well done.
And then 3x.
Beautiful. And that's all over
X to the power of 2.
Okay,
and then
good.
We say we cancel out like x out of the under one, like the one
Okay.
that's under.
So what would I be left with at the bottom?
Then you'll be at 5x. At the maybe.
I like what you've done up to this point over here. But then what's going to happen at the bottom? If I have x squared at the bottom and I'm cancelling with 1x at the top, what's going to be left at the bottom?
Only 1x.
Just 1x. Beautiful. Okay, but that 5 is going to stay where he is. He's not going to move down.
Oh, I did it wrong. But then it's
That's
going to
okay.
be 5.
Yeah.
5 bracket 1 plus 3x.
All over x. Yeah.
Well,
You see why?
Tiana.
Yes.
Okay, good. You're most welcome, guys. This is the place to make mistakes. This is where we want to make mistakes. This is where we want to fall for traps so that we don't fall for those traps in tests and exams. Okay. This is a safe place to make mistakes. So let's just, for those of you who are feeling a little bit lost about those x's down there, I just want to show you what this would look like. If I wrote x squared in a different way, I could write it as x times x. That also means x squared. Okay, and so then it's a little bit easier to see, well, that x is going to cancel with that x, but this x is left here. Nothing's canceling with it. Okay, and so that's why my answer is going to just be this 5 at the top, and then the 1 plus 3x, and then that's going to be over the x. And I'm not allowed to cancel these x's because then I would be canceling across terms, which I'm not allowed to do again. So my final answer is just going to look as is. 5, open brackets, 1 plus 3x of x. Nice. Good work.
Well done, everybody. Just remember to try it on your paper, okay? On your book like this, you can correct it.
Yeah. Romeo, how can I help? Hello. Romeo?
I got it. I got it.
Oh, okay. It's about to start reciting Shakespeare to you, but I'll refrain. It's okay. Is it not a must for us to give like terms? So when we get to this point over here, we don't need to re-multiply that out to have like 5 plus 15x over x. We can just leave it like that. We don't need to re-multiply. And we can't add anything because we don't have any like terms anyway. So we can just leave this as is. Okay. Next one. Now this one, let's see. Let's see how you go. Give me your answers when you're ready. Pop them in the chat for me.
Let's do this, guys. Woo! Let's see.
I'm not going to say anything. I just want to see what you do. See if you can get this right without me.
So nice to look at all the people, like, focusing. It's
I
nice.
know.
All of you. Oh.
Concentrating so hard.
Oh, Nati's on fire already.
Already. Okay, well, Nati, I will give this to you. I'm just gonna give him a little bit of time to answer, and then I'll ask you. Fatu, don't panic. Okay, just have a look at this numerator. Have a look at it and think, how can I take out a highest common factor? What can I take out? What is common in both of them? That's your first goal. Exactly, guys. We can take out an A. Okay. Unati, we are all yours. Talk us through.
Ma'am, so you look for the highest common factor, which is A.
Good. What would I be left with inside my brackets?
A squared plus 2.
Good. Okay, and that's all over A squared plus 2. What do I do now?
Ma'am, now you cancel out the A squared plus 2 in the brackets and the 1.
But now what? How can I do that? Because my A squared plus 2 at the bottom doesn't have brackets, and my A squared plus 2 at the top does have brackets.
Ma'am, so can you just cancel out the A? And then...
No, you were right. You were 100% right. I was just trying to say, when you get to a situation like this, often people will see them and they think, well, I can't cancel because this isn't the same. But guys, when you have two terms at the bottom, you're allowed to put those brackets around them to make it look the same. You're allowed to do that. Renati, what you said was beautiful. What you said was perfect. I was just trying to trick you.
Okay, ma'am.
And so then these two are going to cancel.
Answer is A.
Beautiful. Exactly. My final answer is just A. Excellent. Nice job. What is going on here? Oh, okay. Junior, I think you were trying to write 8 cubes and then things went very sideways. But I don't know how to read it. I don't know what you've written. Okay. Okay. Okay, Tiana, how can I help?
Ma'am, I got the answer right, ma'am. But it doesn't look like what's going on here, because I said I said A, the highest common factor most, and then A2 plus 2 in the brackets.
Yeah, that's
and
right.
then under A to the power of 2 plus 2 also.
Yep.
And then under I took out the A, and then I took out the A and left the 1A under, and then 2A on top. And then I cancel the A's in the 2, and I just got 1A.
Okay. So
right?
No. As soon as you started doing things at the bottom, they would have stopped marking. So there's nothing I can factorize here. There's not a highest common factor. There's nothing I can do. So the only way that this question can look is like this. I can't have any more lines, and I couldn't have any less lines. That is exactly how this one needs to look.
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
Sorry, Tiana. Okay. Oh, a WhatsApp group sounds like horrible news for me. I would just be getting messages like at 2 o'clock in the morning being like, ma'am, how do I do this question? That sounds like a terrible idea. I feel like that will just make me sad. That will make my soul sad. That's like bringing me back like COVID flashbacks.
You will cry every evening.
Yeah, I know. I'll be crying every evening. You'll just abuse my brain, guys. I know how this goes. I've been there. Okay, let's have a look at this one. Okay, I want you to have a look at that numerator and I want you to take out a highest common factor and solve. Yes, if you write it like that, that's absolutely fine. It is a terrible idea. It is a terrible, terrible idea. Okay, Unati, I know your hand was up first. I'm just trying to spread the love a little bit. Fatu, how can I do this question?
Ma'am, is it going to be a squared
Beautiful.
bracket a plus 2
Good.
over 8 to the power of 3?
Good.
And then, ma'am, we go at the bottom, we're going to be left with a.
Good.
And then our numerator is going to be a plus 2.
Excellent. Okay, now am I allowed to cancel those a's out?
No, ma'am.
Why?
Because they're not one term.
Yes,
Oh,
good,
it is.
because it's not one term. I would be canceling across terms. Good, okay. And your teachers are going to be nasty. They're going to try and make questions where your answer looks like this so that your brain thinks, I need to cancel that and that. They're going to make your answers look like this so that you think to do something. You need to think, I'm not falling for your trap, Mr. or Miss Teacher. I know what you're doing. I'm not going to fall for that trap. Okay. So for those of you who are struggling to see what's happening here, if I wrote a squared, I could write it as a times a. And then in brackets, I've got a plus 2. And then down here, if I wanted to write a cubed, that's a times a times a. Okay. So when I'm canceling that a with that a. And that a with that way, and that's why I'm left with 1a at the bottom. So I'm going to have a plus 2 at the top over a, and if you want to keep that in brackets, you can keep it in brackets. Actually, maybe do keep it in brackets because then you're probably less likely to try and cancel your a's in that end step. All right, let's try another one. Oh, this is a goodie. How is the common factor of a cubed a squared in the first place? So when we're looking at variables, I can divide a cubed by a squared. A cubed divided by a squared is a, which means it is a factor of it. And I can divide a squared by a squared because I would get 1. So it is also a factor of it. And so when we're looking at our variables, if the variable is in common in both terms, like here we've got an a in both terms, you always take the one which has the lowest exponent. So in this case, I've got a cubed and then I've got a squared, and that's why a squared would be my common factor. So we always take the one which has the lower exponent. Okay. Okay. Off you go. Tando, how can I help?
Ma'am, can I answer?
Yes, can I call on you in like a minute to give everyone else a try first?
Okay, ma'am.
Okay, I'm going to keep your hand up and I'm just going to unmute you in a minute.
Wow, this class is on fire.
Don't fall
Guys.
for my trap, guys. There is a big trap in this question. There's a trap. Don't fall for it. It's too easy.
This guys.
We still have Tuesday to work on these. So I can't give you all the hard ones just yet. We've got to ease in. Okay, Tando, we're all yours. Give me my answer.
The answer is x minus 4.
Okay, how do we get there? And you have fallen for my trap.
Oh,
This
can I ask,
is
ma'am?
Tando is inside our trap right now. Do you want to phone a friend?
Yes, please.
Okay, let's see if Precious can help you out. Precious, are you able to help out Tando? Or are you going to join her in the trap?
I'm not sure if I'll be able to, but I think don't we switch the numerator and the denominator around?
No switching of the numerator and the denominator. Oh no, guys, we're trapping big time. Fatu, can you help us? Can you get us out of this trap?
Ish, ma'am, I'm not sure, but ma'am, but I also got x minus 4 though.
No, you're also in my trap then. I'm putting you in my trap.
Oh, God.
Oh, yeah.
Well done, guys. Keep trying. Trying is the best, guys. Let's do this.
Klingi, are you able to not be in my trap?
Of course.
Tell me what to do.
Oh wait, I was just gonna say the answer, man.
Okay, well, you can tell me your answer.
I got 1 over x minus 4.
Yay! Well done. You are not in my trap. Excellent.
Well done,
Nice work.
Gengi.
Nice work. Okay, I'm going to explain why. That's the beautiful answer, but very, very well done. Good work. Okay, so this type of question is like a typical trap question because when we have a look here, so we've got x squared minus 16. We think, okay, cool. I know I need to do dots. So at the top, I have x plus 4. And then at the bottom, I've got x plus 4, x minus 4. Okay? I'm sure most of you would have gotten to that point. Then this x plus 4 and this x plus 4 can cancel. So you're just left with x minus 4. And so what most people write is they say, okay, my answer is x minus 4. But we can't do that because this x minus 4 is not at the top. It's at the bottom, which means my answer is 1 over x minus 4. That's why it was a trap. So lots of people write x minus 4 on the top, but it's a trap. Okay, so all we did was we did dots at the bottom and then we started. Alvarez, you always come in with a little alias. I love it. For our Claremont learners, this is too easy. Don't you worry. I'll make sure there are some juicy ones there on Tuesday. We have to introduce topics with nice, easy questions to get you into it. Don't panic. They're coming. Okay. Let's give this one a try. So now for this one, we have to look at these options and think, well, can I factorize my numerator and can I factorize my denominator? So at the moment, all we're doing is we're saying, how can I factorize these guys independently? By looking at highest common factors or difference of two squares, or you see what you think you can do. Give it a go. No, why are you so lost? Just try and take out your highest common factor of each of these. That's all you need to do for this first step. So take out your highest common factor of your numerator and write it down. And then take out your highest common factor of your denominator and write it down. One step at a time. Okay, Romeo, your hand was up first. How can I help, or do you have an answer for me? Hello? I'm gonna have to go into someone else. Utando?
Can I try the first step, ma'am?
Yes, absolutely. What does your first step look like?
Isn't it brackets 3x plus 27 close bracket, open bracket, 3x minus 27 divided by 3x minus 9.
No. So if we're looking at these two, so we've got two terms at the top. What is our common factor of those two terms? What is common? If I look at my numbers, what's common in the 3 and the 27?
3.
Yeah. So we're going to take that out as our highest common factor. And then what would be left inside that bracket?
X minus 27.
Yep. Oh, careful. What's 27 divided by 3?
Oh, isn't it 9?
Yes, it's 9.
Well
Good.
done, no.
There we go. Okay. So, because remember, when you remultiply those, you need to get these two terms. Okay. So now, guys, if you did that first step, if you got there, I want you to give yourselves a mark. Okay. Now we're going to look at, I'm just going to do this in a different color so that we've got some color organization going on. And for those who are visual learners out there. Okay. So if we're having a look at this question now if I'm trying to take out my highest common factor, I'm going to be left with 3 and I have x minus 3. Okay. Give yourselves a tick if you got to that point over there. Okay. Now at this point, you can cancel those 3's, okay, because they are the same as each other and we're dealing with one term. But this isn't my final answer. What can I do after this step to get a final answer? Fatima, can you tell me what to do next?
The x squared minus 9 would be dots.
Yes, I can do dots. Good, because we can factorize more. So what does that top one become?
So we bracket x plus 3, close bracket, and open bracket x minus 3, close
Beautiful.
bracket, all
Okay.
over x minus 3, and then we're going
Excellent.
to cancel out x minus 3, and then the answer will be x plus 3.
Yes, yay, well done.
Well done, Fatma.
Nice. Okay, so do you guys see how this is like building on our last few lessons? So we have to sort of carry on factorizing until we can't factorize anymore. And then we can cancel what we can cancel out. So all we did in this first step is we took out our highest common factor, okay? We took out the highest common factor of our numerator and we took out our highest common factor of our denominator. Then we looked at this and we said, well, this isn't fully factorized. X squared minus 9, I can still do difference of 2 squares, which is what I did over there, or what Fatima did over there. And then we can cancel out another bracket and we left with our answer. Okay. Let's try one more for the night. And then it's your quiz night. So then I'm going to leave you in Yolanda's capable hands. This one's not so bad. It's a little trinomial. So think about how we factorize trinomials.
Let's go, guys. Woo, we have upgraded it, hey? These are the questions that they were asking for. Upgrade.
No, I've got to keep everyone interested. Someone was throwing shade my way earlier. This is a Claremont learner. This is too easy. It was peanuts. Tato was throwing shade my way. I see you. And I will be bringing some serious questions for you on Tuesday. I'm going to have a whole column that just says for Tato. Just this column. No one else. Just Tato. Okay, let's have a look and see what these answers are coming out. All right, Unati, talk me through. How do I factorize this trinomial? What do I do?
Ma'am, you get the factors of 6.
Good. So 1 and 6 and 2 and 3. Beautiful. Okay, next.
We choose 2 and 3.
Okay.
So, ma'am, in the bracket, it's going to be x minus 3.
Beautiful.
And then in the other bracket, it's x plus 2.
Okay, good. And guys, for those of you who are still struggling with trinomials, it's because minus 3 plus 2 is going to give me -1, which is what I'm wanting over there. Okay, cool.
Ma'am, over x minus 3.
Nice.
Ma'am, and then you cancel out
the x minus 3 at the bottom and the one at the top.
Good.
Then you'll be left with x plus 2.
Yay! Well done. Nice. Beautiful. Actually, I'm wondering if we... Oh, should we try and sneak in one more, guys? Let's just try to sneak in one more question. Let's just do one more. Let's be sneaky. Okay. Let's be sneaky sneaks. Okay. Last one. Because you're doing them so quickly. I want to keep your brains interested. So this one, you need to factorize the numerator and you need to factorize the denominator.
Just a reminder, guys, to everyone, whoever is feeling really lost is because we have done factorization already. So all the previous videos, lessons are all on the website. Okay.
Yeah. Renate, I do see your hand. I'm going to explain this one just because our time is limited. That's the only reason. Okay. Factor pairs of 12, 1 and 12, 2 and 6, 3 and 4. I'm trying to get positive 1, which means I'm going to want positive 4 minus 3, because 4 minus 3 is going to give me 1. Okay, so I'm going to have x minus 3, x plus 4, and then down here, I'm going to do difference of 2 squares. So I'm going to have x plus 3, x minus 3. This x minus 3 is going to cancel with that x minus 3. And so my final answer is going to be x plus 4 at the top over x plus 3 at the bottom. Your teachers are giving you this answer because they want you to cancel out those x's and make a silly mistake. But we are smarter than them and we are not going to do that. And we know that our final answer is x plus 4 over x plus 3. Okay. On that note, guys, I have to leave you. Yolanda will help you get onto the quiz. Good luck. And I will see you all on Tuesday. I hope you have a beautiful, beautiful weekend.
Thank you, Jenny. Thank you.